Hello guys, hope you're doing great. Welcome to the stage 6 of this special video tutorial series. And yeah, in this video, I'll be discussing on upgrading to GAN 360. Now, I've skipped stages 4 and 5 as I realized that this is one of the most important stage that you guys are stuck at and everybody's waiting for this video tutorial. So I thought I'll record this videos first. Now I come back to stages 4 and 5 and I'll talk about them once I've completed stage 6 and 7. So in 4 and 5, we'll talk about getting your Google Ad Exchange MA account and getting your own Google Ad Exchange account. Also, apologies for the delay in bringing this video to you. So I try my best to get these videos as soon as possible, but I also have my other responsibilities apart from YouTube. And YouTube isn't my first line of business still. I am in the early stages of YouTube. So with that said, let's get started with understanding the agenda of this video. So in this video, I'll help you understand what exactly is GAN 360. So you should be aware of what it is and how would you benefit from it. Now, after that, I'll help you understand how is it different from the free versions of GAN. So what are the features in GAN 360 that you should be looking forward to? After that, I'll help you understand what are paid accounts and are all paid accounts GAN 360 accounts. So what is a paid account? Paid account is simply an account wherein, in an account, if a billing tab gets enabled for you, it becomes a paid account. So you meet certain threshold. So some people have a confusion wherein they think that if they have a paid account, they have a GAN 360 account. That is not the case. So I'll help you understand what is a paid account and how to transition from a paid account to a GAM 360 account. Now, after that, I'll be covering the fourth important thing, that is how does a GAM 360 account look like. So first and foremost, you should be aware of all its features so you can verify all the GAM 360 features that you're looking for. Are they available in your account? Also, there's quite a easy identification that you can check from the UI and you'll be able to know whether this is a GAM 360 account and I'll take you through it. Now coming to the one of the most important questions, why do you need a GAM 360 account and does it guarantee that you become a reseller as soon as you have your GAM 360 account? Again, there's a lot of confusion wherein people think if they are a GAM 360 publisher, they automatically become an MCM parent account publisher. So that is not the case. So I'll help you, identify the differences, and GAN 360 is simply a stage in becoming a MCM parent publisher. So those are two separate things and you shouldn't confuse them. And lastly, I'll help you in the process of what you should do to actually upgrade to a GAN 360 account. All in all, again, it will be a detailed video tutorial for you. So if you haven't still, subscribed to my YouTube channel, please give it a subscribe and, press the bell icon to stay tuned for more such valuable video tutorials. With that said, let's get started. What is a GAM 360 account? So very simply, it's a upgraded version of your free version of GAM. You actually get a GAM 360 account. You get some additional features in addition to your GAM account. For most of the publishers, getting a GAM 360 account won't make a significant impact in the revenue. You get certain additional features, and in return of getting these additional features, you have to pay certain fees to Google. So all GAM 360 account are paid account, and you will have your billing tab enabled, and then only you'll become a GAM 360 parent account publisher. Now, this fees typically varies. Now, if you are becoming a GAM 360 parent account via reseller, your fees might be lesser. It might be anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000. Wherein, if you have a direct relationship with Google, your fees might increase from like 1,500 to $2,500. Now, there is a fixed amount in the fees, and then there is a CPM wise fees that is according to the tier of impressions you have and the amount of impressions you have. But in general, it might vary from anywhere between 1,000 to $2,500 for you. Now you have understood what is a GAM 360 account. Let's understand how is it different from the free version of GAM. Now, in this section, we'll get started with understanding the features that distinguish the free version of the GAM from the paid version or the GAM 360 version. It's very important for you to analyze these features because if these features are useful to you and you are able to derive value from these features, then only you should consider upgrading to GAM 360. Or if your goal is to actually become an MCM parent publisher, you should also consider upgrading to GAM 360. Now let's understand these features briefly. First and foremost, we have audience segments. Now, audience segments is something that gets enabled with your GAM 360 account. Before GAN 360 account, all the targeting features that were available to you aren't based on the audience. So they are based on the contextual nature of the audiences. So you're not aware of the actual audience visiting your site. You're just aware of the contextual thing. So which page they are visiting and you're targeting them according to that. So all the targeting features in the regular GAM are contextual based and are not audience based. But with GAM 360, audience segments gets enabled to you and you get a feature to actually perform audience level targeting within your GAM. Now, if this is something that you are looking forward to, then GAM 360 is a necessity for you. A very simple example of an audience segment would be, you want to actually identify your content lovers. So if you have a sports website, let's consider you are a Cricket Australia website. Now, a certain percentage of users are regularly visiting a certain page. So if a certain user visits a particular page, a particular your Cricket Australia. So if they are visiting Cricket Australia's or they're visiting the Australian team page, we can identify these users as Australian cricket lovers. Now, you can create various audience segments, you can club various audience segments, and we have the capability to use both first party and third party audiences. So, first party, very simply, are audiences that use the data that you have within your GAM and that is available within your site. But with third party, you can use the audience segments that are created by others and that will be available to you in your GAM account. But to use the third party segments, as you do not own them, you again have to pay a certain amount. Now, second feature that you get with GAM 360 is your Teams feature. Now, Teams allow you access control feature that enables you to provide different accesses to different people within your GAM account. So, for example, you have teams located in India and you have teams located in Delhi, Hyderabad, and Bangalore. Now, you want the Delhi team to only have access to the ad units that are related to the Delhi. So you can actually, using the Teams feature, assign that particular team only access to those particular ad units. So this ensures that Delhi's team doesn't interfere with Bangalore's functioning. So this gives you more flexibility in terms of access control. Now, another feature is suggested ad units. So with suggested ad units, sometimes you forget declaring certain ad units in your GAM account and you use them in your code. Or there might be typos in your code that your ad unit code in your actual, JavaScript doesn't match as that of, what's implemented in GAM. If there's a mismatch, GAM will automatically detect it and they will tell you that, you have certain requests coming from this particular ad unit. It is not declared in your GAN, so it is suggesting you to create this ad unit. Now what this feature does is, if you have suggested ad units enabled, this prevents all the impressions falling to the default bucket. So why do impressions fall under default bucket? If there's an ad request coming from the page and it doesn't correspond to an ad unit in the GAM UI, there is a mismatch and GAM doesn't know which ad unit it should allocate these impressions to. So it will allocate it under default. But if you have a suggested ad unit feature, GAM will let you know that, majority of the requests are coming from ad unit X. So kindly make this as an ad unit in your UI. This isn't a significant feature that you cannot live without it. So if you're just thinking of using Gap 360 for suggested ad units. I'll not recommend that. Another small feature that gets enabled is special ad units. So with special ad units, you get the ability to explicitly target a child unit. So what do we mean by that? Now, by default, when you have a parent and child ad unit hierarchy, if you target a parent, child unit gets implicitly targeted on their own. But if you want to explicitly target a child unit only when you're explicitly targeting it, like, inside a ad unit, you have an ad unit X, Y, Z. Now, you want ad unit X to be targeted only when it's explicitly targeted, not when the parent is targeted. So you'll mark the ad unit X under A as special. So this will give you an ability to explicitly target certain ad units. Along with special ad units within GAM 360, you get a feature wherein you can target up to 5 level of ad units. Now, within the regular GAM, you only have 2 level of ad units, but with GAM 360, you get 5 level of ad units. In addition to this, you also get data transfer reports. Data transfer reports is again a sophisticated feature, and this is mostly relevant to publishers who are looking to set up their own data warehouse. So, with data transfer reports or data transfer queries, you get log level information about your GAM data. So, why do you specifically need to set up a data warehouse? Now, one particular use case is GAM only has data up till 3 years. Now, if you need data previous to the 3 years and you want to do certain custom reporting out of it, so you do not want to solely rely on GAM's reporting features, you want to go more granular, then you can use the GAM's data transfer reports and you can set up your own data warehousing, and you can hire a data analyst and do a lot with the data that is available to you. You also get video solutions with GAM 360. With video solutions, you get capability to create ad rules. With video ad rules, you can actually schedule a sequence of ads and group them into a pod and serve them in either a pre-roll, mid-roll, or post-roll. So just to expand on this, if for instance you want to show 3 ads in a pre-roll, so you can create a pod, and then you can actually target individual positions within this pod. So like some advanced video features get added with your GAM 360. So if you extensively rely on video for your source of revenue, so these video solutions might come handy for you. Last and not the least, you get Google support. This is something that is a roadblocker for most of the publishers. So with GAM 360, you definitively get Google support. And for the purpose of this video tutorial, if you are considering becoming a reseller or an MCM parent publisher, GAM 360 is a prerequisite. So you cannot become a reseller without a GAM 360 account. Now answering another important question, are all the paid accounts GAM 360 account? So what do we mean by paid account again? If you meet a certain threshold of impressions, so it is like 800K for video, 90 million for display for certain set of countries, 150 million for remaining, and 250 million for a certain countries. So I'll share these specific details for you in a snapshot here so you can review them. But very simply, if you meet this threshold of impression, you have to pay a certain fees to Google. Now, as soon as you become a paid publisher, it is not something that you'll be getting upgraded to GAM 360. So you have to take certain more steps to actually become a GAM 360 parent publisher. Now, to become a GAM 360 account publisher, you should reach out to a account manager of your region. Now, it is most likely that if you reach the billing threshold, someone from Google will reach out to you and you have to tell them that you are interested in becoming a GAM 360 publisher. What does the GAM 360 account look like? So first and foremost, you should be able to verify it from the logo. And here is how a GAM 360 logo looks like. And in addition to it, kindly verify the features that we have discussed above and verify Are you able to create more than two levels of add-ins within your GAM account? Do you have advanced video features in your GAM account? Or do you have suggested add-ins? Do you have special add-ins? So if you are having these features, it's most likely that you have a GAM 360. Now coming to the most important question, why do you need a GAM 360 account? If you're thinking that if you get a GAM 360 account, you'll start making more revenue out of your programmatic, that is not the case. So for 90% of the publishers, you won't make more revenue out of GAM 360. However, if you need any of the features that I've listed above, or you might be interested in a beta feature that is only available in GAM 360, then upgrading your GAM account to a GAM 360 account would make sense for you. Also, kindly take into account that you will actually be paying a fees of $1,000 to $2,000. So kindly perform a cost analysis whether you'll be able to extract this $1,000 to $2,000 with the added value that you get from GAM 360. Now, lastly, as I've already mentioned earlier, if becoming a reseller is your goal, you should surely consider getting a GAM 360 account. Now, there are actually two ways to get a GAM 360 account. The easier way is to actually reach out to a reseller. So there are certain reseller that allows you to actually upgrade to GAM 360. They provide GAM 360 services as a reseller. However, if you're considering on upgrading to an MCM parent publisher, it's very important for you to have a direct relationship with Google. So if you want to get a GAM 360 account only for the purpose of getting these features, then you can go to a reseller. If you want to get a GAM 360 account in order to become a reseller, it's mandatory for you, or it's very important for you to have a direct relationship with Google. Now, does it guarantee that you become a reseller as soon as you have your GAM 360 account? No, that is not the case. All GAM 360 parent account publishers aren't, GAM channel partners. To actually become a GAM parent publisher, you have to have an interview with Google, and it has certain other steps that I'll be covering in the next stage. However, GAM 360 account is a prerequisite to becoming a reseller. So getting a GAM 360 account is a must if you are considering becoming an MCM parent publisher. Now, coming to one of the most important questions is, how do you upgrade to GAM 360? First and foremost, you have to meet the impressions threshold and you have to get your billings tab enabled. I'll give you a quick tip to ensure that you made this threshold as fast as possible. You can concentrate on video impressions. You only need to serve 800K video impressions to enable billing in your account. So this is the fastest way, because if you're thinking about display, for display, it is 90 million impressions in USA, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, and 200 million per month in certain countries like, Russia, Slovakia, Czech Republic, Greece, and other. And apart from these, all the countries, it is 150 million. But all in all, in summary, it's quite difficult for you to achieve the impressions threshold if you're just concentrating on display. So my recommendation would be you focus on video and get the billing tab enabled. Now, once you have this billing tab enabled, it's most likely that someone from Google will reach out to you. If someone reaches out to you, please tell them that you also need a GAM 360 account. They would share the GAM 360 account rate card with you and you would become eligible for it. However, for some publishers, a Google account representative might not reach out to you. So you might have to do some digging and you have to be aware of the Google account manager in your region. Now, if Google doesn't reach out to you, then it becomes a little bit difficult for you to actually find the account manager of your region. But this is some work that you have to, deal with. Also, if you have a direct Google Ad Exchange account and a Google rep reaches out to you, kindly ensure that you are requesting them for a GAM 360 account there and then, because it makes your job much easier, because you get Google Ad Exchange account and GAM 360 enabled. So you are killing two birds with one stone. However, if Google rep doesn't reaches out to you, so yeah, you will have to explore your personal networks. Try reaching out to a Google account manager via LinkedIn or other unofficial routes. So via friends or someone at Google. In addition to having enabled the billing tab, kindly ensure that you are maintaining a good portfolio of sites. You're making at least between 20 to 30K USD. So if you're doing this, your application to become a GAM 360 account holder becomes strong, and it is easier for your account manager to upgrade you to a GAM 360. So with that said, I'll be concluding this video. Keep tuned to my YouTube channel for more such updates. Kindly give a subscription to my YouTube channel, subscribe it, and stay tuned for more such valuable video tutorials.